So compassion fatigue is, also called like secondary trauma. It just means, I always tell people, it just means that you're tired of giving, right? And tired of feeling. So if you are providing support services in any way, shape, or form in mental health, drug treatment, or you're providing care for an elderly family member or whatever, right? I often say you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So you have to have I hate to use the word self-care because it's so trendy, but you have to be able to take care of yourself, and you have to set limits on what you can do and how much you can do. So we're feeling burnt out, and we're trying to give care to people who are feeling burnt out, right? And so that is the particular challenge that is COVID-19. Also, we've been experiencing political uprisings together, and we've had social unrest, and we've been watching videos of people dying at the hands of police, et cetera, et cetera. So you're talking about people who are also experiencing trauma, providing care to people who are experiencing trauma. Now, people have compassion fatigue regardless of COVID-19, right? And it often is because we need to take breaks and reboot and relax and turn off and tune out and all of those things. So suppose you work in a setting that deals with people with domestic violence. You are listening to really horrifying stories all day. That has an impact on your psyche. I don't care how good you are at, providing a wall and doing all these things. You are a human being, and you are hearing things which are difficult to hear, which are painful for somebody. And that's where the compassion fatigue comes in. Building emotional resilience is really just the ability to bounce back from emotionally or psychologically demanding situations, right? And so one of the things that's happened in 2021, I posted something on Facebook and I said, 2021 is showing up, and she's like, I'm not going to be outdone by 2020, right? So we were all like, oh, okay, new year, new everything, and we're still, dealing with certain things that are just not going away. And so in terms of how do we take care of ourselves, I say one of the things I suggest to people is just literally to turn off and tune out for a minute. Like literally take a break from the constant onslaught of what I call bad news. So hard work, and plenty of it, is the American identity. And we don't think about, well, what does that mean for us emotionally, psychologically, and physically? What does it mean that we're at the highest rates of mental health issues for our children and adolescents, right? And what does that mean? And how did we get here? And we have to really be reflective about what are we doing that is creating an environment where so many people are emotionally stressed. So resilience, resilience is built in those in-betweens. It's not built while you're getting traumatized, but it's also about how you take care of yourself. There's 4 to 5 main things that come up when it comes to resilience. And any mental health provider or physical health provider will tell you, you need to have good sleep, right? You need to have good nutrition. You need to be active, whatever that looks like for you. And you need to have a social support system. Some people will throw in, something around mindfulness and taking care of your mental health in that way. I do have a thing where I call it 8 ways to 8 hours. And so if you have any issues with sleep at all, I am going to guarantee you that you're going to come and you're going to learn some strategies that you can apply to your own life to help you to sleep better, because sleep is like a foundation for our health. It's how we reboot. It's how we rest. It's how our body takes care of itself. It has a lot to do with our mental clarity, our ability to learn, our ability to remember. It's really, really important. I will also be talking about, social support and how can we get social support during a pandemic where we're isolated, right? So all the things that we would normally do to get social support, which is sometimes hard to come by, even in the best of circumstances, is a real challenge right now. And so I'm going to give people some ways and strategies to build social support into their lives. And I will give people some tools, some takeaways, some actual resources, handouts for them to download and use as they see fit. I also have about 15 ways to take a break, because I also think that taking a break during the day is much harder when we go from online meeting to online meeting to online meeting to online meeting. People are feeling exhausted. People are getting eye issues and headaches from sitting and staring at a screen all day. So you will definitely have concrete resources, but I'll also be explaining to people how stress impacts their lives and their bodies, because I think people aren't aware that stress is the number one reason people go to the doctor, stress-related issues.